The American economy is at a critical juncture. Inflation remains stubbornly high, eroding purchasing power and squeezing household budgets. The Federal Reserve, in its fight against inflation, continues to raise interest rates, making borrowing more expensive. A potential government shutdown looms, threatening to further disrupt an already uncertain economic landscape. The stock market, often seen as a barometer of economic health, has been on a rollercoaster ride, reflecting the anxieties and uncertainties of investors. Consumer confidence, a crucial driver of economic growth, is showing signs of fragility. The decisions made by policymakers in the coming weeks and months will have profound implications, not just for the United States, but for the global economy as a whole. The challenges are significant and the stakes are high. Navigating this turbulent economic terrain will require careful consideration, decisive action, and a commitment to policies that promote sustainable and inclusive growth. The path ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the decisions made today will resonate for years to come. Inflation, a persistent rise in the general price level, has been a defining feature of the current economic landscape. From groceries to gasoline, the cost of essential goods and services has been steadily increasing, eroding the purchasing power of consumers and putting a strain on household budgets. Families are feeling the pinch at the grocery store, where the prices of staples like eggs, milk and bread have soared. Filling up the gas tank has become a source of financial anxiety for many as energy prices remain elevated. The rising cost of housing, both for renters and homeowners, is adding to the financial burden faced by many Americans. The consequences of inflation are far-reaching. For low and middle-income households who spend a larger proportion of their income on necessities, inflation can be particularly devastating. It erodes savings, reduces living standards, and can lead to increased financial stress and hardship. Addressing inflation is crucial to ensuring economic stability and protecting the well-being of American families. In an effort to combat soaring inflation, the Federal Reserve has embarked on a series of interest rate increases. The goal is to cool down the economy by making it more expensive to borrow money. Higher interest rates discourage borrowing for large purchases like homes and cars, which in theory should slow down demand and eventually inflation. However, these rate hikes come with consequences. Mortgages and other loans become more expensive, potentially pricing some buyers out of the market. Businesses face higher borrowing costs, which can lead to reduced investment and slower job growth. The Federal Reserve must strike a delicate balance, aiming to curb inflation without triggering a sharp economic downturn. The impact of these rate hikes is already being felt across the economy. The housing market, once red hot, has begun to cool, with mortgage rates reaching their highest levels in decades. Businesses are becoming more cautious about investing and hiring, as economic uncertainty persists. The Federal Reserve's actions are being closely watched, as the consequences of its policies will have a significant impact on the economic outlook. Section 4. Looming shutdown, mounting uncertainty. Adding to the economic anxiety is the looming threat of a government shutdown. Political gridlock in Washington has raised the specter of a partial shutdown, which would have wide-ranging consequences for the economy. Government services would be disrupted, federal employees could face furloughs, and the timely payment of Social Security benefits and other essential programs could be jeopardized. The uncertainty surrounding a potential shutdown creates a climate of anxiety for businesses and consumers alike. Businesses may postpone investment decisions, fearing the economic fallout of a prolonged shutdown. Consumers may cut back on spending, further dampening economic activity. A government shutdown would be a self-inflicted wound on the American economy, exacerbating existing challenges and undermining confidence in the government's ability to manage the nation's finances. Section 5. A volatile market and shaken savings. The stock market, often seen as a bellwether of economic health, has been on a rollercoaster ride in recent months, reflecting the anxieties and uncertainties gripping investors. Concerns about inflation, interest rate hikes, and the potential for a recession have fueled market volatility, with stock prices swinging wildly from day to day. This volatility can be unsettling for investors, particularly those who rely on their investments for retirement income or other financial goals. The value of retirement accounts can fluctuate significantly in a volatile market, causing anxiety for retirees and those approaching retirement. The stock market's gyrations are a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy and the speed at which economic sentiment can shift. While the stock market's performance does not always reflect the underlying strength or weakness of the economy, it can have a psychological impact on consumer confidence and business investment. Prolonged market volatility can erode investor confidence, leading to a pullback in investment and a slowdown in economic activity. Section 6. Consumer confidence at a crossroads. Consumer confidence, a crucial driver of economic growth, is showing signs of fragility in the face of mounting economic challenges. Inflation, interest rate hikes, and the threat of a government shutdown have all taken a toll on consumer sentiment, leading to increased uncertainty about the future. When consumers are confident about the economy, they are more likely to spend, invest, and support economic growth. Conversely, when confidence wanes, consumers tend to retrench, cutting back on spending and delaying major purchases. This can create a vicious cycle where declining consumer spending leads to slower economic growth, which further undermines confidence. The current state of consumer confidence suggests a need for decisive action from policymakers to address the economic challenges facing American households. Restoring confidence will require a multifaceted approach that tackles inflation, provides economic stability, and fosters an environment of sustainable and inclusive growth.